This is D'Lo Brown. You better recognize this. The only podcast I pay attention to is the Ministry of Wrestling. Believe that.
Hey yo, hey yo, hey yo. Okay, guys, so wrestling has been another very exciting week. So you know what that means. We're here once again back in the house. It's me, the one AJ Anthony Jordan.
Double V, the Viceroy of Verisimilitude. Me too, Nico Luro.
I'm Big Zone, as always, in the zone.
Big Tone, who has been in the zone and has been managing very well. He's been prominent these past few weeks. So I just want to, before we kick it all off, thank you very much, bro. You and Simsy's done some nice reviews there, a nice little prediction show. Yeah. It's been all good. It's been all
2024, man, the ministry, we're getting bigger and better.
That's
You
it.
should check
10K in
out February
2024.
calendar.
10K in 2024. Let's do it.
Well, we're on it. We're en route. We're en route. Yeah. Okay, right. Here we go, guys. So we've covered a few. This isn't one that we've normally covered. I've not had the pleasure of seeing it. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to be your moderator of the day in Big Tone. Boom. There you are. You're in the top position because you guys have seen it. New Japan, as always, have delivered some top stuff. Obviously, WrestleKingdom is one of those stuff that really lets you know you're in a new year, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
It's always in the first week, and it just brings some top-class wrestling. Ministry Awards hasn't come out yet, but I know that many people's contenders was the WrestleKingdom main event from last year, Ospreay versus Omega, in one of the biggest throwdowns ever. And yeah, they keep bringing it. So guys, please tell us, what have we been treated to this year from New Japan?
Fire away, Big Tone, lead.
Well, damn, we've been treated to just another masterclass in a wrestling pay-per-view. Yeah. New Japan, like, the way they treat their events, man, they always feel special. And this one is absolutely no different. Like, the glim, the glamour, like, everything was on show. The main event was the double main event, mind you, was awesome, as always.
Yeah.
There were some surprises along the way. There were debuts along the way. Yeah, people like retained their title. People lost their titles. Like, it was a very exciting show.
It was. Do you know what I loved about it? Speaking specifically about WrestleKingdom, because we're going to touch on New Year's Dash as well, but speaking specifically about WrestleKingdom, it was so well paced, this event, which is impressive considering when you consider that it's nearly 5 hours long. Like, it's very much the Japanese WrestleMania, but it's so well paced. I didn't feel that there were any beer breaks in this pay-per-view. It was just like, oh, cool. So we've got freaking Takagi and what's his face, the Samoan boy, Tamatonga, which contender for match of the night. And then it's like, oh yeah, but you've also got Hiromu Takahashi here. Oh, you've also got Shota Umino. Oh, and it was just like, it was like, Jesus Christ, can I have a breather? Can I please go to the bathroom? No, dameda, you may not. Every match was just seemed to raise the stakes more. It's a thing of beauty, man. And do you know what? Watching these New Japan events, it keeps making me realize there's still so much potential for Forbidden Door. It's nuts. Like, so many stars we haven't seen yet cross over with AEW. It's crazy. The potential, it's like a bottomless pit. And I think, not to throw shots in the opposite direction, but they obviously don't have the production value of a WWE, despite being very well produced as a show. They don't have the fanfare, the pomp, the pageantry. And I think they're better for it. It's a very, very, very different aesthetic to what they do in American wrestling and European wrestling. This feels like, people sometimes dub AEW the super indies. This feels like super indies for me, even though in New Japan, I don't think you can consider it an indie show anymore. But it feels super indies. It's literally just like, oh, forget the big stars of North America. This is like a who's who of everyone else.
Yeah, I think one of the things that you'll always find is WrestleKingdom is very much a Japanese style. A lot of American wrestlers who have done New Japan, New Japan's been historically, you go back, WWE Hogan's done stuff with New Japan, and what have you. Every wrestler who's ever done Japan, the Far East, has always said it's a culture shock how the fans receive it differently because they're used to the lariness of the Americans. God forbid if they ever come to the UK, what they're in store for. It's a much calmer crowd in Japan, yet the display is always there. One of the things, and I mean, we could go through the card very quickly or in the style that you guys want to, but what I do like, based off of what you were saying there, Nico, about how much Forbidden Door can do, and I'm not saying Forbidden Door opens the door to Japan, to let people know it's there, but for the past, dare I say, 7-8 years, and it could be just because of the circle I'm in, Wrestle Kingdom has become more and more of an attraction. People may not watch New Japan for the rest of the year, but they know to tune in. Very much like a Mania, they're starting to now tune into Wrestle Kingdom. They may lose contact, and I think what helps is that your Jay Whites, your Omegas, your AJ Styles, your Finn Balor's, your Nakamura's, your Juice Robinsons, all of these guys that you're like, who are they? Oh, they came from there. You know, it starts to spark something.
Yeah.
God, even Chris Jericho going there. Like, he left WWE to go where? You know, it's really in people's heads. Who are these guys? The Bucks. All of these guys. Look,
Cody.
Who? Sorry?
Cody,
of course. Yeah. How could I even forget that? Do you know what I mean? Like, half the Bullet Club, TMDK, like all of these people, there are so many names out there that people are starting to lean there. And what they're looking for is who will potentially be my next Mania headliner. You know, if you are very much of that nature, I think that's one of the things. New Japan, I'm not calling it NXT as a development, but it definitely is something to say, there's your eyes of the future.
It has to be. Like, you were seeing, Jay White becoming the first ever Grand Slam champion in New Japan, and you're like, this guy's going to be huge in the West. He's got everything at his disposal to succeed in North America, and he is. People are saying, oh, they've wasted Jay White. Give the guy a chance. He's main evented. He's started a new faction. He's been in some really good storylines. He was a semi-finalist in the Continental Classic. Jay White's doing fine. Don't you worry. They just haven't pulled the trigger on him yet. Just
you see, the thing is about like Wrestle Kingdom as a whole. This has been going on for a long time, for many years, where stars have like left their respective American companies. They've gone to Japan, specifically this company, and they've stepped up the game. Before, like AJ Styles came to WWE, didn't just go straight from TNA to WWE. He came to New Japan first and became the leader of the Bullet Club. Yeah. Before Finn Balor even thought about going NXT, where was he? He was in New Japan as the first leader of the Bullet Club.
Created one of the greatest factions ever, right?
100%. Yeah. So again, New Japan, I agree with you. It's like a star builder. Yeah. And it's even a place where you go if your stocks are down and you need to like reboot yourself, you need to reinvent yourself. That's where you go. Because again, like, you mentioned Jericho, someone who always been able to reinvent himself, but going to New Japan, he was able to elevate and reinvent himself again, come up with the Painmaker, and that of course leads to AEW like being their first world champion. There's a lot that wrestling fans as a whole need to be thankful to New Japan for.
Yeah, for sure. Even these downtime, Brock Lesnar was there. Like it's like everyone's kind of stepped foot.
So many people. Hulk Hogan was there.
Yeah. That is the one.
We owe that company a lot, and they really did put on a fantastic show. Look, the show is too long to go through match for match, but I mean, some of the standout things for me, like the main event actually surprised the living hell out of me. I didn't see Sanada dropping. That actually caught me off guard.
I
didn't see it happening because the whole story was based around him. Like, can he finally do it for himself? Answer: no.
I'll tell you why I seen Sanada dropping. It's because there's two stories being told here. What you're talking about is half of a story that's not over. Yeah, it's actually just like going into its part 2. Yeah, whereas Naito's story has been continuous. That guy that's been there, he's been at the top of his game. He's been in main events, but he's been beat. And like he's had a run at the title before, but he's never had a sustained run when New Japan has been at its most popular. And this is what we get. This is where like the fan interaction and dynamic was. And this is why they were behind him.
Don't get me wrong. I love Tetsuya Naito being champion. I think he caught me off guard, but in a good way. I wasn't like, subverting expectation for the sake of it. Like, no, it made sense. That eye gouge he got was nasty, huh? But look,
but
it's going to be.
Don't worry about him, like because
No, he's chill.
He's chill. His story. Like
him and just 5 guys are going to be absolutely fine.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, because now they've done that. Now it's going to be his re-rise, and eventually, don't be surprised if that is the guy that takes the belt off Naito, repaying it. The story coming full circle.
Not.
New Japan is very much of that nature, though. It is very much of that nature of redeeming matches.
I don't know.
Not anytime soon.
Sanada will get the belt back. So you reckon Naito is going to hold until Sanada takes it back?
No. What I'm saying is that eventually those two will find themselves in a position where this match with this dynamic happens again. Whether like there's a few title reigns in between there, because to be honest, like there's people coming, man. There's David Finlay. We see him doing big things.
David Finlay, Nick Nemeth, Matt Riddle. Exactly. Do you know the only thing I didn't like about Wrestle Kingdom, and it felt a bit vainglorious. I don't like Hiroshi Tanahashi booking himself to the top. I thought that was a bit. I saw that. I was like, really, dude.
Yeah, but what you got to understand there is Japan is different from the UK or the US, like in how they view their old time heroes. They treat them with a lot more respect. Yeah, that's why Anthony Inoki was able to get away with booking himself as a champion for like 5 years.
Like, long may he rest in peace. But Antonio Inoki was not a nice man. Like, wow.
And like, to be honest, like, you know, Zach, like this is where they actually are pretty good, because Zach will likely be the man to get the title back off of Tanahashi, giving them a win over Tanahashi, because they got big things planned for Zach, man.
Huge.
I said it before and I'll say it again. Now that a certain somebody's leaving New Japan, I think that's your next budding star. The same way, even though they weren't in the match together, I think Zack Sabre Jr. is very much going to be a very much talked about name, main event in maybe the next Wrestle Kingdom, maybe. Like the climb is there.
It very much depends how they want to book these new guys. Like if they see them as part of the company for the long term, like Zach is, or if they're just going to be like, come build career up for the next 12 to 18 months and move on. Yeah. Look, I see Nick Nemeth being in New Japan for the long term, at least for the next 2 to 3 years. Do I think he'll end up in AEW at some point? Sure. Do I even see him winning an AEW title? Sure. On the basis that Tony Khan is the type of guy who looks at mistakes that have been made in the past and kind of rights them, because hardcore fans, you know, actual fans have been saying for ages that, Dolph got screwed. Like, how has this guy not been champion more times? We all think that. Tony has got his finger on the pulse enough that he's going to look at a Nick Nemeth who's been revitalized and been like, well, we all know you're freaking great, bro. And now you've got your career back on track. Here's, run with it. I can see him doing that. 3 to 5 years, Nick Nemeth holding gold. Not for long, not multiple times, but I think you'll see Nick Nemeth as a world champion again. He has to.
You know what? I was thinking about this, and I was thinking that every wrestling great, I would say it's a very good idea for you to run through New Japan, and experience your G1s, experience your Wrestle Kingdom, get that down on your resume, because it's done wonders for names like Moxley, it's done wonders for names like Daniel Bryan, and it's done wonders for like Jericho, So, hey, Nick, if you're about to embark on this run through New Japan, I hope you got all that's coming forward to you. I hope you get a global championship run. I hope you do win. Now, if not win, just have a very good showing in the G1. Yeah. And I hope you get one of those big main events.
Nick Nemeth, IWGP champion. It just has a nice ring to it.
And it's a good person to do it because, again, they do like their Gaijin champions in it now and again.
Of course they do.
And like, he's a perfect foil. Yeah. Whether
They
like
popped for him. That Japanese crowd popped for him. He got, by Japanese standards, he got a good bit of noise there.
Yeah, it's also nice to see him with his brother. There's something about that made me feel what.
Yeah,
like, you're like,
yeah. But then you know, the other thing they do so well in New Japan. You and I discussed this in our WhatsApp group, Tone. Bro, the factions. Oh, God Almighty!
That has been their grain for such a while now.
They're kings. They're just kings in the wrestling world of doing that. It's been their grain, and it shows. It truly shows. Like, I don't know if you can look at other wrestling brands, AEW, I don't care. You can't compare it to what NJPW does with factions.
With New Japan, it's legacy factions, isn't it? It's not a story per se. Like it's affiliation, because New Japan doesn't work on a heel or face. Do you get what I'm trying to say? But to that degree. So you've got these legacy affiliations, and that would
unless your name's Shota Umino, Mr. Gentleman.
But that's how your feud build. Where WWE look at it as a marketing option and it's a quick cash in on t-shirts or what have you. You know, hell, WCW. You want to get a guy over? Just throw the t-shirt on him. New Japan kind of do the same similar thing, but expand on it in such a way that it just means something. Like that, it's ingrained in the story that it's not because, let's be honest, Bullet Club should not be Bullet Club with Finn, with half of them in the originators in bloody WWE. Half of the elite, you know, then the ones who took over and now started up another company. By the time you heard the elite were leaving, it felt like, oh, that's it. That's Bullet Club done. No. That legacy has gone on.
I think the simplest way to summarize it is that, like, WWE, they do factions for storyline purposes, whereas New Japan, the stables are brands. They're all their own thing. They all have their own t-shirts. They all have people come and go because, we want to, like, do a new set of, like, clothing. We need to do a new, like, picture or whatever of this guy in this, like, get-up. So this is why they'll keep on going. The Chaos has been around for years. Bullet Club has been around for years.
Ingo Benables.
That's TMDK. As you said, Diego Diabolus, like, so many factions, man. Suzuki Gun, like, there's...
I love Suzuki Gun.
Yeah, man. United Empire. All of them.
And even within Bullet Club, as we know, you've got all these little sub-factions. Guerrillas of Destiny, I want to throw out to them, because I think... if someone wanted to make an argument for me that specifically the tag team, like Hikuleo and what's-his-face, Phantasmo, if they wanted to make an argument for me that they were the tag team of the year, I would listen to that. On the basis that the Usos were voted tag team of the year because they held 2 sets of belts, you know, and didn't defend them because there was no tag division. Not the Usos' fault, but there was no tag division. Well, here's 2 guys doing exactly the same thing, holding 2 sets of tag belts when there is a catastrophically large tag team, an active tag team division in a hard-hitting promo. So, hell, I'm making the argument myself. I think Guerrillas of Destiny should be in the conversation for tag team of the year.
I wouldn't argue about against them being in the conversation. That's all. Again, it's a hell of an achievement to be both, like, New Japan strong and IWGP, like, champions at the same time. That's showing that New Japan, as a company, they truly believe in you. They've like, you know,
this isn't flash in the pan stuff. That, like, to do this in New Japan is like, it's hard. It's really hard, and they've somehow done it. Like, yeah, that was the result that shocked me. I was like, oh damn, they're putting both belts on them. Okay. I thought, I didn't think those IWGP tag belts were changing hands, and here we are. That was one of the surprises for me. Yeah, I mean, the
Yeah.
other big surprise was Tama Tonga saying he's leaving New Japan soon.
This was the one I was just about to ask because he's just won a title and saying by the end of the month I'm out. That was I was like,
Yeah, he wants to wind down his career, doesn't he? I mean, he's been with them what now? 14 years, 18 years.
Mhm.
He's been there a time, you know. And I don't think he's suited for WWE.
No.
He's one of the wrestlers. Everyone's saying Ospreay is going to get lost in the shuffle at AEW. I can't tell you how much I disagree with that noise. He's going to be made the big star. Tama Tonga is someone who would get lost in the shuffle in AEW.
It depends because, again, going into AEW, I would have said that 100% about Eddie Kingston when he first came in originally. But look what he's done, like by himself.
That's
if you
true.
look at Eddie Kingston before he was in AEW, yeah, he was in both NWA and Impact as more of a sort of a manager, rather than the guy. Yeah, he comes, he's got a fiery personality, just like Tama Tonga's got. Yeah, he's got like great speech, just like Tama Tonga's got. And guess what? He's got the fans. Yeah. So all you need to do is come over to get like your little moment in the sun, and like Tama could do big things. Hell, if they wanted to really just set him on fire, like light a rocket under him, just bring him in and put him in Bullet Club Gold straight away. Yeah.
Yes. Now, if you did that, yes, that I would listen to.
So, legit, you don't think he has a future in WWE?
No.
But Tama?
Yeah.
Like maybe like if he came through NXT, but he's a bit like old for that.
Well, here's my thing. In his speech, he talks about winding down and being closer to his family. Right? There is a certain family in the WWE that he would be affiliated with.
Nah. Come on.
I believe there's a new wave of the bloodline that is coming. I've said it before, with Solo as your tribal chief, which Roman has now gone on to say once I'm done, Solo's your tribal chief. A new bloodline with certain figures from around. I don't think it's out of the question.
I think they need to, unless. Okay.
I know what you think.
No. So because what's his face, Dunny McDunn is now gone, and Vince McMahon is clearly gone. Like that, I've got no doubt in my mind anymore that he is gone. Like
you don't even hear him anymore.
You can see it in the booking. There's no way Punk and Drew McIntyre cut the promo they do on Raw this week.
There's no way. Yeah,
There's no way.
There's
it
no
was
way
too like real.
Karrion Kross has a new stable. If Vince is
no way, no chance, just no chance. So I believe that there has been that final nail in the coffin. You know, Johnny Ace, Vince. You know, the yes men. Essentially, they've finally cleared way. The trash has been taken out. Do I think there's going to be an aesthetic shift in WWE? You can see it already. Look how Raw started with Cody walking in. Like, I was like, Jesus, this goes back to WCW days. I haven't seen something like that in ages. So there is an aesthetic change. Do I think Triple H is... Not that he's not capable of it, but do I think he's made from the cloth which likes to do legacy factions? Weirdly, considering he's in a legacy faction... I don't think he thinks the company's made for that. I don't think the American fans will respond to that unless the words "suck it" are involved.
Look, I don't see Bloodline 2.0 being the most over thing, but I see it being a thing. That's my thing. I can see your Jacobs, I can see your Zillas, and I potentially see Tama in that too.
I was gonna actually mention Jacob Fetty, and that's some guy I really could see, but I suppose it's what they want to do because we're talking about New Japan right about now and how they have their legacy stables that go through many different iterations. Oh, you know, WWE might decide to do that if they feel that it's popular enough. Maybe we'll see a Judgment Day 2.0 as well. Yeah, when certain people move on, like Damon Priest moves on to be the world champion by himself. Yeah, maybe Rhea. Like eventually has a face turn because she's far too popular to be here forever. Yeah, maybe we'll get different versions of it then.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
They've certainly in the last few years done enough with the two main stables they've created to make them legacy stables. Like, it's the closest thing they've had since the Attitude Era, no doubt. I don't think the company's built for that. But, you know, we're here to talk New Japan, and I think you talk factions, and then, I mean, I want to jump straight on to, like, the main event of New Year's Dash, yeah?
Wait. You haven't done talking about Wrestle Kingdom.
No, I know, but it's just that match specifically because we're on the topic of factions.
There you go.
Blackpool Chaos Club? Are you kidding me? Are you actually kidding me? I saw that. Like what? I'm sorry. I saw Okada, Danielson, and Ishii in a ring, and they're on the same team? What? And then you're going to tell me that TMDK beat them?
Brilliant. Bravo. So this is what I'm saying. Like, again, we've seen Zack lose his title in the opening match of Wrestle Kingdom, yeah. But they got massive things planned for him, yeah. Because again, not only was he successful in that big ass match, afterwards he took the microphone, he called out Danielson hard. They go backstage, they both cut like promos in their little press conference thing. They're hilarious, New Japan press conferences as well.
They're great, aren't they?
People swearing, they got people like proclaiming, like challenging, you know, they're a great laugh they are. But damn, that match was thing of beauty.
Zack is so different on screen to who he is as a person, huh? Like,
yeah, I would imagine most of them are like, you know, they don't.
Oh Jesus, I don't. I think what you're seeing of Roman is just an exaggerated version of Roman.
Really, I feel he's
yeah. I think The Rock has not changed in 20 years. I think he's The Rock. I think Stone Cold is Stone Cold. Like,
but listen, there are some characters that are very much fake in the realm of, I think they talk about Earthquake, who was meant to be like the big villain. He's one of the most humble people you can find in the back. Hulk Hogan is Hulk Hogan. Terry Bollea died a very long time ago. Hulk Hogan is the only thing that exists. And it's the same for The Rock. There are some that are amped up. There's some that who knows how to play the game.
Yeah. I think amped up is the right way to describe it.
Yeah.
Like, Zack is so radically different in the ring to who. I mean, you and me met him big time. Like, I'll never forget when you said to him, like, Zack, man, you've been in some of the best matches I've ever seen. And Zack turned around and went, I don't know about that. I'm like, sorry, what now? Do you know?
Very humble. Yeah,
see, you say to Will Ospreay when we met him, when AJ and I met Will in Newcastle the first time, I said to him, I'm like, you obviously see we like you, but you do know you're like the best wrestler in the world, right? He looked at it and went, yeah? Like, what's I do?
Like, show me anyone who does what I do, bro. It was literally that. Like, Will is just an extension of himself. Zack is so different.
No, but Zack is what. I don't think he's that different because that chilled mentality he's got. That's sort of like, you know, no care, no give, no harm, no foul type of attitude he's got.
How does that translate? Like Dragon Bollocks.
like I said, you just see him like even in the fight. If you look at the video and the way he's just standing up in it, watching them, just chilling. But that's the Zack I met, isn't it? Yeah. Yes, he's more humble than I would expect. But of course, again, like we said, amping up. He turns up to 11 when it's time to go to work, isn't it? That's why he's telling people to vote for Labour and wants to kick him.
But his switch is so much more evident than the other wrestlers I've met. Like when I met Ishii, I was like, you are exactly how I thought you were, small and terrifying.
Yeah.
Like the man I met is the man I see in the ring. I wouldn't get in a fight with him either way. And he's half my size, literally half my size. Still wouldn't mess.
One of the other things I definitely want to touch on Wrestle Kingdom, man. Come on, can we talk about the rise of David Finlay? This is why.
Well, this is the one I was waiting.
I was going to get to this.
This is why, in it, like I need to be watching New Japan like consistently. Like much like you said, AJ, New Japan is pretty much very much a WrestleMania thing for me. Wrestle Kingdom, just because there's so much wrestling to watch. Yeah, if you just
Crazy.
watch just the core shows of AEW and WWE, that's 10 hours by itself. Yeah, so it's hard to keep track of these things, even though I'm someone who tries to watch everything. I'm someone who will check for TNA. I'm someone who will check for NWA. I'm someone who will check for MLW. Yeah, and New Japan when I can. This pay-per-view made me regret not tuning in more last year, because the last time I seen David Finlay, he was in Impact Wrestling, having Jay White fly overseas to come whip his ass. Yeah, and like David Finlay's the good guy. Yeah, he's the face. Next minute, I see him come down. He's the leader of the Bullet Club. How did that happen? When did that happen? And like, not only is he the leader of the Bullet Club, this guy really is like, he's a bastard of all bastards right about now, man. What he did to the belts, smashed them up, man. How dare he smash up the UK Championship like that, man? I love that belt. They smashed it up. Yeah, and like, hey, he did his thing, man. They clearly believe in him. They clearly feel like that he is their top heel, their future.
He's their new Jay White. He's definitely their new Jay White. He's different, but that's how they see him. They're presenting him similarly.
100%.
Yeah, he's gonna do bits, David Finlay, and he is doing bits. Now that match was a perfect example of. I'm often criticized on the show for not criticized, but I often criticize on the show WWE for playing it safe. But sometimes, look, let's be real, and every wrestling brand does this. Sometimes the obvious is the correct thing, right? And in this case, Will Ospreay, who's winding down his big global tour, we've had the summer of Ospreay, and what the freaking summer it was. But he's now doing his go home run, isn't he? He's putting other people over as he goes out from each company. So one, it was the right thing for Will to eat the pin and put the other guy over as he's going out. And I believe that's going to happen again in the cage match. And two, it was the right thing for David Finlay to win. What were they going to do? Put a title on Mox? Mox is bulletproof at this point. Yeah, it was the right thing to do. It was obvious. I saw it coming a mile off, but I was like, but this
makes it. It was a given, but it's the quality of the match, I'm guessing, is that. And not only is that guy, put it this way, people are going to be paying attention because Ospreay is Ospreay, and it's who's next. Mox is also dragging attention, so you've got that. And the fact that he gets the pin over the New Japan Starboy, as he's currently seen, he then gets dragged right into Nick Nemeth. So it's like he's literally set in such a way that, in a way, that's some of the best booking you can get, because he's not just taking out two of the biggest stars in the industry right now. He's now his next target is the most talked about WWE release. Like, it doesn't matter whichever way you look at it. People could care about Riddle. You can care about Shinsuke's guitarist. Can't remember his name right now. Books. You could care about. None of them dropped jaws more than Dolph. And the first thing you're getting is this guy who's just smashed the title, be crowned the new champ, and be like, you. He's getting into a scuffle with the biggest free agent. Props.
And not to mention what show it was actually on. It was on Wrestle Kingdom. It was on their WrestleMania. It's it's two of the biggest names on that show, really. Yeah. And I say, if you are an American audience member or even a UK audience member tuning in for the first time, you're gonna know Jon Moxley. Yeah. And if you're a bit more clued up, you're gonna know Will Ospreay and understand just how good he is. But then you're gonna see David Finlay beat both of them. Near the end of the night for a new title, a title that is the combination of the US and the UK title, the global championship. Yeah, that's a very nice looking belt as well. Yeah, I gotta say, and I'm glad it's around the waist of David Finlay, man. I'm sold on this guy.
No, I've not seen Wrestle Kingdom. I've not seen New Year's Dash, which is for my sins. But the buzz that has been around everything that's gone on there, he's set. And any casual, and I'm not saying that's why New Japan done it as well, but it helps that he has a surname that you recognize as well. You want to know who he is. You know, it sparks an interest. You're like, Finley, well, is he? Yeah, you're damn right. He is Fit Finley's son. You know, it's exactly what's going on, and that's just a grain of it, as you said. Mox, who some people will still call Dean Ambrose, they're seeing him. They're seeing Ospreay, who obviously people are all like, it's just got so much to it that everyone's just paying attention, and he set the tone. He set the tone. He's in a good spot right now. He's in a very, very good spot. While we're on this though, maybe Nick might be a bit PO'd that this is mentioned without him, but Okada Danielson, what was the levels of this match for you, big time?
Hold on. We can like hold on that for a minute, Okada Danielson, because I just want to mention like some other members of the New Bullet Club. Yeah, for instance, Gabe Kidd, who we seen in the main event of Rev Pro, who I seen punch Will Ospreay for real in the face. Gabe Kidd, like I was watching New Japan thinking, wow, Gabe Kidd really hates Will Ospreay, don't he? Because when he come out, man, and like he come out on a New Year's Dash, yeah. Again, who does he go straight for? For Will Ospreay. When they come in and try to do that little interference at WrestleKingdom, again, Gabe Kidd on Will Ospreay, man. But like through him doing that, I'm sold on Gabe Kidd now, yeah. And like it's a great show for him, and he's someone who I watch. This is what I feel like New Japan are really good at, yeah. I feel if they want you to actually like take notice of someone, they have that person do stuff. It may sound simple, but this is lost on so many wrestling federations, yeah. And like WWE and even AEW can both be guilty of this, yeah. If you want me to care, do stuff. Yeah, have that guy doing stuff. The people in AEW who we have known to like come and love, like they did stuff. Yeah, let's be honest. Tony Storm has had 3 runs, yeah, as world champion. Yeah. No one cares about the first 2. Not really. The first one was Blanto. The second one was Outcast, lasted 2 minutes, yeah. And this it's now that she's done something as
she's timeless.
Tony Storm that people are taking notice. People are taking stock of her, yeah. And she's one of the best characters and the really the only choice that should be holding that world title right about now. And this is where New Japan is very good as well. I look at someone like David Finlay and like who I'll be honest, I'll be 100% honest. When he was in his tag team, I can't even remember their name now. Yeah. Like it's something that you pay attention to. You don't care that much, man. Let's be real, yeah. You only kind of sporadically care. But now, as is the leader of the Bullet Club, who's doing stuff, who's doing dastardly deeds, I care a lot about him. Yeah. And this is what they're also doing with their little underlings as well. You're making Gabe Kidd come in and beat up Will Ospreay not once but twice in 2 days. You see, like he's already got like Negro in his feelings hating him. Yeah, and that is a great thing.
Oh, yeah, I despise Gabe Kidd. I think he's in things I can't say on a monetized podcast.
Yeah, no, but I'm looking forward to seeing Gabe Kidd taking on Shingo Takagi at the high stakes. That's gonna be a match.
I hope Shingo eats him.
Listen, but this is the funny thing, and I'm not dismissing Rev Pro by anything when I say this. That's a New Japan match that we're just lucky enough to get in the UK, you know?
Yeah.
It just shows, as much as people don't think they're watching New Japan, they're watching New Japan. It's really expanded in such a way.
Reality check. The main event of Raw was New Japan. Cody versus Nakamura is a New Japan match.
There you go. It's funny that people can always say, oh, that's a WWE main event. Well, sometimes it's another company's main event, and you've just said it. WWE's flagship main event was a New Japan match.
Yeah,
because that's not the Cody that left WWE. I'm just saying.
No, it is not.
Yeah. Speaking of main events, like one of the 2 major ones, We've got to talk about Okada versus Bryanson.
So here's my question. For the sake of voting for our match of the year, are we actually counting both of the Wrestle Kingdoms? And then next year, once we reset to WrestleMania, obviously, it will only obviously be the one Wrestle Kingdom. But because
when does our year end? Does it
By
end in
proxy,
April?
yeah, we'd have to. Because we've changed the goalpost. Yeah. Yeah.
so
The
this
season-
year only, both Wrestle Kingdoms are essentially in. Cool.
Yeah.
I actually don't know how to pick between Ospreay Omega and Danielson Okada because that was insane. And the thing that made it even funnier was the crybaby abbreviation drones who need more than one W in their wrestling promotion, crying about Dave Meltzer's rating system. That's the funniest thing in the world. It's like he likes strong style wrestling, guys. This is a guy who's literally famous for saying 7 stars in the Tokyo Dome. Are you actually surprised that 2 of the top 5 wrestlers in the world had a match with each other in the Tokyo Dome and he got 5 stars? Just
It was deserved. I mean, like,
of course it was.
Forget any of that stuff. Just look at the match by itself and what happened in that match. That match had me like, at the edge of my seat. I wasn't sure, like, completely who was going to win by the end. I mean, going into it, yeah, I always thought, Okada's going to get his win back.
Yeah,
but
you thought that before, and it bit you in the bum.
Because, innit, like,
for him to be 2-0
how they go against each other and the near falls and everything that happens in that match. Yeah, has you believing that, oh, damn, is he going to go 2-0 against Okada? Yeah, but then
Has
obviously,
there ever been anyone better than Okada at doing the 2.999 kick out? Like, that in itself is almost like, I know people are like that Rainmaker finisher and his picture perfect drop kick that he does from Irish whipping someone into the ropes. But that 2.99 is literally like an Okada hallmark now. Like, I don't know anyone who can do a close finish. Maybe HBK, but I don't know of anyone who comes close to him. Especially in the modern day, like, he's the king of and because he's got such a mastery of that, Jesus, he gets you buying into his matches.
Do you know what? I'll give Nene. I'm going to call him Dolph. I can't get his right. Sound him correct. You wait and see what he's going to be doing in Japan. Those two squaring off is going to be something. Okada Dolph. You wait and see what that match gives you.
I can't wait. I legit can't wait. Wrestle Kingdom next year, Okada Nick, that's going to be match of the year contender too. Like, but here's the crazy thing. For me, there's only been 2 5-star matches in the last 12 months. And here's the mad thing. It's all opinion, obviously, but Danielson's been in both of them. It's crazy. Okada Danielson at Wrestle Kingdom and Zack Sabre Jr. and Danielson at Forbidden Door. That match was insane. Like, sorry, how has he? How?
2 classics. I mean, like, you talk about Bryan Danielson and his final run. He's making it a good one. Yeah, this is how you go out. If you're going out, like, you go out fighting, you go out swinging, you go out on your shield, and this is definitely what Bryanson is doing. Yeah. But, like, of course, we also got to talk about Okada once again proving why he's definitely one of the best in the world. Like,
of course he is.
This guy will never probably leave the top 5 wrestlers as long as he's about. Yeah, he is such a treat to watch, and it's like there are people in the industry that transcend the industry, like, just by their name alone. You put their name next to anyone else, and it's like, oh my gosh, it's this person versus Okada. It's that person versus Okada. Yeah, Okada means something. Just that name is special. Yeah,
it was like watching the 2 final bosses of wrestling face each other.
I see
It was like a
as,
Final Fantasy 16 freaking Titan battle, you know? It's like, what am I watching
see
here?
it as more than final bosses. I see it as two all timers, yeah.
Yeah.
Two like secret characters, if you will, like coming together. Two of the best.
Freaking Yojimbo from
ever
Final
do it.
Fantasy 10, isn't it?
Yes.
Ryu versus Scorpion or something like that, like two men from two different worlds clashing.
Yes, exactly like that. Two household names, two best, yeah, literally best at what they do, coming together to face each other in like the biggest event, like in New Japan's history. Yeah.
Can we also talk about Okada's ring entrance? Because whew, that was cool. That was really cool. Did you see it, AJ?
I haven't seen it now.
So he came out in his traditional white and gold robe. He stepped in front of a UV light and it went up and down him, and it melted the paint off to reveal a new pattern. It was sick. I'm like, the money that must have gone into just those 7 seconds was like, holy God. That's why I was like, he's going full final boss here. This is insane.
He come out, like they played his music for a little bit. You thought it was going to be his regular entrance. Then they stopped his music to do that, and then started it again.
It's insane. And that's
great.
why I was like, final boss. I'm like, and the music's hitting again. He's playing Final Fantasy in real life. Like, what are we doing?
So with that said, though, guys, I know there are 2, possibly even 3 main events. What would you say was your both individual matches of the night?
Okada Danielson.
Okay.
Not to be the same.
Followed, by the way, by Tamatonga versus Shingo.
See, like for me, it impresses me because I could literally go for 3 matches. Yeah, I could go for obviously Okada and Danielson doing their thing. I could also go for the main event, like Naito. Sonada, because again, I feel that told a great story. Like that probably was the best storytelling of the night, to be honest. Yeah, especially the ending where Naito had to hit his what's it called, his finisher.
What, Tranquilo?
Yeah, Tranquilo. He had to hit it 3 times, yeah, to like finally off Sonada, and then like Sonada interrupted it twice as well. So it was really like close.
It's a hell of a finisher, isn't it? Exactly. Like a Hurricane Rana into like an inverted DDT.
You was like on the edge of your seat for that. But then I also got to think about Ospreay and David Finlay and Mox, man. That is like a very interesting match with 3 very different like styles, yeah, and 3 like different star powers all coming together for a new title. All of them are just so deliciously good, man. Which one would I pick? Yeah. I'm gonna go with Okada and like Danielson, because again, like 2 of the best ever coming together to do their thing on the biggest show in Japan ever. So
it's match of the year contender, man. It has to be.
Awesome. So Nick, you kind of highlighted a bit of it earlier, but let's move on to New Year's Dash.
Started the way WrestleKingdom was, which annoyed me because Hiroshi Tanahashi puts himself over again, and then when the surprise comes out, Matt Riddle shows up, and I'm like, is this Adam Copeland? Because it was very, very reminiscent of how Edge Adam Copeland made his AEW debut with that kind of American muscle car. And then I'm Matthew Riddle, bro. And he gets out. And the part that annoyed me was Tanahashi speaking in Japanese going, I don't know who that is. I'm like, well, yes, you do, Mr. President, because you've just signed him and booked him. So don't annoy me. I don't know, man. Tanahashi's annoying me as the president. I don't know if that's intentional or not, but he's annoying me.
Well, it looks like Matt Riddle found a suit that Dolph Ziggler like lost the night before. They were dressed very similar. Maybe that's a thing. Or as I'll point out Leon's theory. He's like, oh, could they be like the stable? Hey, maybe
because they both have white shirts.
Maybe they're doing a reservoir like dogs type thing, you know? Yeah, but I doubt it. No,
It
it's
could
good
be
to
the
see,
formation of something new. I didn't want to crap on it. It seemed weird that we're just saying, "Oh, men in suits faction," but it doesn't necessarily mean it's wrong.
Hey, you never know. Hey, you know what? If it comes
Could
back,
I
I mean,
see
right,
Dolph?
we
Could I
got
see, sorry, Nick,
we got
Ryan, and Matt walking down to looking back on the track, get a little green bag? It would be a great intro.
and like I said, we got to give all these dudes if it turns out to be correct. But no, I'm very happy to see Matt Riddle getting about, because when I seen he was just signed to MLW only like really do exclusive contracts. That's why you don't see any of their wrestlers like turn up anywhere else. But for some reason, maybe like Matt is a big enough star for them to like allow that rule, and now he's in New Japan. Or maybe it's a thing where he's not allowed to be in any of the other American companies.
US ones,
Yeah, but he can be in New Japan. Either way, I'm happy to see him there, and I feel that's a great start, Tanahashi. Yeah, again, going back to Tanahashi winning all the time, that's just goes. It's just basically what it is, because that is how Japan sees certain stars. Yeah, they just go there, they win. Tanahashi is someone that beat like Omega when he probably shouldn't have, but Omega's leaving, so put him over in it. Yeah, he's done a lot of stuff. But then when you do beat Tanahashi, it's a big thing. Again, it did wonders for Jay Wyatt beating Tanahashi. So
It did
yeah,
indeed.
he's like anyone, man. He's that, like I would say, John Cena at this point in his career, but he doesn't lose.
The things that, do you know the thing that really stuck out to me about that, Matt, about New Year's Dash, other than that crazy main event? There was this impromptu match. It involved a member of Bullet Club. I can't remember his full name, but his tagline name is like the Bone Soldier.
Yeah, but
I
just call him
thought
Bone Soldier.
he was incredible. Like, head turned instantly. I'm like, oh, eye on him. Like,
You're not seen
ring
Bone Soldier
presence.
before.
Sorry?
You're not seen Bone Soldier before.
No. I thought he was
in
amazing.
He was in Impact for a while doing his thing.
He
Exhibition
turned my
champion
head
and
the way Takeshita did when I first laid eyes on him. I'm like, this guy's serious. Serious.
Well, you know what? Do yourself a favor, go on TNA Plus, look him up, man. Like some of his matches in the X division. Absolutely brilliant.
So not shocked from what you've just said. Like, the guy's incredible. So impressed with him. Yeah, the lot of factions on New Year's Dash. It was like 5 versus 5 versus 5 versus 5 versus 5 versus 5. Constant. I was like, bring it on, man.
But I like the format of New Year's Dash, and I'm glad you did sleep on it this year, because I tried to get everyone to watch last year. They weren't having it, man. There's too much wrestling. But like their format where nobody knows the matches, you just watch the show, and the people come out, and then
you get main events
and giving it your time. You got one of the craziest main events ever, man. Yeah,
yes.
with the Chaos and Blackpool Combat Club like crossover. Against TMDK. Absolutely amazing, man. Absolutely.
That
amazing.
is just for the shock alone, that could be contender for match of the year. Because I was like, sorry, I'm watching in one team literal a modern day Hall of Fame here.
Yeah, but one thing we've got to definitely mention, man, the massive brawl between Bullet Club and United Empire. That was great.
Here's a question. So Ospreay and we're getting the first steel cage match that New Japan's had in, what did they say, 20 years? They're making it feel very, very special, this United Empire Bullet Club match, cage match. They're really, really building it. Here's a question. Who do you think is going to take over from Ospreay as the leader of United Empire?
I was going to ask you that, but my vote is TJP. I feel that like he is an international name. People know him from both his years in TNA, his years in Impact, his years in WWE, and even like 205 Live. Yeah, he was their first cruiserweight champion. So New Japan is very good at respecting what a person has done, and when they've got international recognition. And again, they pushing him quite well. They're pushing him quite heavy. Yeah, so I feel TJP is going to be that guy. Also, there's a lot of other people that could do this. Jeff Cobb, yeah, he could like step up.
He's my pick. Jeff Cobb was my pick. Shooting a shot here, a la Leon doing a bait and switch. I actually think TJP is going to end up costing United Empire the cage match, and he's going to join Bullet Club.
That'd be a good fit as well. He would look good in those, in the colours. Yeah, so it'd be a good fit.
Yeah, I think TJP is going to screw them. I feel something brewing
There's
there.
something in the water there for you.
What's that?
I said there's something in the water. It's just you're not settled on him.
Just the way they were booking him in that big fight. He didn't seem like he was entirely behind Will and his boys. I was like, that I smell a dagger in the back.
You think? All right, maybe. You might be right. But that fight as well was just brilliant. I was loving what I was watching because it got out of hand. The match got thrown out, and everyone just decided, let's just fight. And that's what happened before. And the fight wasn't short. It wasn't broken up quickly. It was a long fight.
That Ryan McCufflin guy.
Longer than the match. It might have been.
Yeah. No, that Ryan McCufflin guy and Ren Narita, I'm big fans of them too. I think they're fantastic. And this is it. You just look at all these names and you're like, Jesus Christ. Like, you could literally book Forbidden Door for the next 10 years and you still wouldn't even be close to running out of matches.
Well, 100%. Like, again, some of the matches that they did like set up already, innit? Like, I liked in the press conference when you got Shingo taking on Mox. Yeah, like that's something I want to see.
That's like next week, isn't it? I swear that's a Battle in the Valley. Hang on.
Yeah, I think it is.
This is what you were saying to me. That it's a no DQ match, right? Is that the one?
Mm-hmm.
It's this Saturday.
And like, we'll be remiss to mention we're getting Will Ospreay versus Okada again
in the main event.
Are you kidding me? Come on. And again, Sachs made this challenge to Bryan Danielson. Yeah, and wherever they do it, I don't care. I'm going to be there watching it. Because
I want it at Wembley. I want it at Wembley so badly. If we're not getting Danielson, Okada at Wembley, I want Danielson Sabre at Wembley so badly.
Hey, maybe that'd be the number 3. Yeah,
it probably will be if they can stretch it out, because that would be very similar to the Ospreay Jericho match. Do you get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You've got your AEW foundations, but there's that one international flair match that took place, and that would be it.
But like you said, you mentioned Ospreay Danielson. Come on, need I say more?
Yeah, because I want. Okay, so
here's the thing. I don't know.
I want Ospreay for the title.
I want him to go for the title, but we're talking about a runner-up. Like, if he doesn't go for the title, that is a match I would love to see.
Who's holding the title? Who's holding the title at all, in you reckon?
It's difficult. I don't see Joe.
It's not Joe. It's not Joe. 100% not Joe.
You can't
in an ideal world,
because we thought like Joe wouldn't even be holding the title. And
in an ideal world,
that's subverting our expectations.
He's a short-term champ.
Ideal world is Adam Cole.
Adam Cole.
His ankle
by August.
I reckon that Adam Cole and MJF are fighting again at All In. I think that's locked in.
For the belt?
Not for the belt. Just Bridge
No, Ospreay said it at Rev. Not that we're talking about other companies right now, but he said it. He's got the main event at Wembley. He is holding the same way Saraya got her chance in front of a crowd. Tony Khan is doing that. He's not going to be stupid and put Will Ospreay in anything less. He now has Ospreay. He's making him the main event, and Ospreay's going over. That's just a foregone. It's not a prediction. It's a spoiler. It's not a prediction. It's a spoiler. You know, that's a fact.
But it's against too, because I don't see Ospreay Joe being a no disrespect to Joe because he's an all-time great, but I don't see Ospreay Joe as a big enough main event for us.
Can I be honest? Depending on diverticulitis, it could be Ospreay Omega.
Oh, don't tease me.
That'd be amazing.
Don't tease me.
Think of it. Think of where we're at in the feud. Think of where we're at in the feud.
Oh, it's
There's
perfect.
one more match.
And that's a match that everyone will be into. Everyone will be looking forward to.
I mean, that's a showpiece match right there, isn't it? Omega Ospreay is your main event at Wembley. You want to talk super indies? There's your super indies.
Let it be said, guys, that on January 10th, the ministry called it way before anyone else saw it. If that's the match, we called it.
What are some other possibilities you think, though?
Ospreay Jay White, I could see as a match. Ospreay Danielson, I could see as a match. Ospreay Mox, I could see Ospreay Moxley as a match too. Put Mox in the main event.
Could Swerve be
Safe
champion?
hands. Who?
Swerve. Could he be champion by then?
Yeah, he could. He absolutely could.
Yeah, and that would be a hell of a wrestling match.
I actually called. I put it in private chat with AJ. I'm calling Swerve to be champion by Revolution.
When's Revolution?
March.
Not that fast.
Yeah, he's ready. He's there. He's already doing all of that. He's 2 months out from that. He's there. He's organically over. He's done what LA Knight did in WWE. He's completely organically over.
I believe, if anything, though, don't be surprised if he's your next international champion.
Roderick Strong.
Well,
The thing about Swerve,
it depends on what they want to do with that belt. Yeah, like there's a lot of belts in AEW, man. Ring of Honor champion, he could do a lot. Yeah. What
Woody's going to beat Orange Cassidy. You can call that one on the 10th of January too. Orange Cassidy is going to drop that belt to Roderick Strong.
I'm going to throw out a name, and this is about star power. Yeah, not necessarily the match, but Adam Copeland, could he be the champion going into All In and take on Will Ospreay?
no.
Too old?
I don't see it. It's a dream match.
By that time, I wouldn't be surprised if we've got Adam and Christian
Buddied up.
Tag gold.
Adam and Christian versus the Hardys.
If the Hardys can reclaim form.
Hey, they could do another TLC. Insert the Young Bucks as well. Let's go.
Don't tease me. Don't tease me.
Don't tease me. Stop it. Even I'm saying stop it now. And
You
yes,
must
it has
tease
to be.
me like
It has to be a TLC, not a Stadium Stampede. That would make it would infuriate me if that match is a Stampede.
Why? It was great.
No, it wasn't.
The Stadium Stampede
It was
match is coming for but that's going to be a faction.
Yes, a Stadium
Bullet Club
Stampede
Gold
can
is
take
probably
place.
going to be doing that this year.
A Stadium Stampede could take place as many times as it wants, but not with those guys. They're made for better.
What if it actually is MJF who's champion again, and it's MJF versus Ospreay?
Happy with that too.
There's a lot of
Happy with that
possibilities.
too. MJF's definitely going to hold that gold again, and it's not going to be that long. But it needs to go through a few hands now.
I was going to say that. I don't feel that you need to have long reigns in it, repeatedly, because
I reckon you're going to have 2 months now with Joe. You'll give Swerve maybe 3. Then
It's more
Ospreay.
interesting when I think you can lose the title, basically.
Swerve, I see posts All In.
Swerve, you see post All In. Oh, I see him much sooner than that.
But we are disrespecting New Japan right now while we're doing all of this. Is there? I'm guessing it was the chaos, the Blackpool Combat Chaos or Chaos Combat, whatever. Was that the match of the night? Which way you guys?
Blackpool Chaos Club against TMDK, bro. The whole pay-per-view was really good.
There was other stuff we got to see all of the 5 guys team, like that. That's always good.
and telling the Ingobernables de Japón, beat it. We won the match. Get out. And Naito just being like, okay. It's so funny.
Exactly. This is what I love about New Japan, because that whole match, that really is like a pay-per-view for like one of their next pay-per-views, and they just did it on a special, right? Just like that, with no announcement. Yeah, you got to see the two factions of the two people in the main event go against each other.
Yeah.
And so
I
now
guess, to be honest, my only beef with both of the events was, where was Minoru Suzuki?
it must be injured or something.
He must be.
Like, he wasn't there.
How is Suzuki not on either of these nights? What the hell?
Exactly. Everyone wanted to sing his song. Everyone wanted to watch him kill someone. So
Here's a staple.
yeah. Yeah.
It was some in a year 2023 where WWE is having to rediscover or attempt to rediscover former glories without the maniacal dinosaur and his yes men, and in a year where AEW has slightly lost sight of who it was and is still trying to rediscover itself, this was legitimately some of the best wrestling I have seen for a very long time. Masterclass. It was a masterclass from a group of people at the top of their game, with 2 match of the year contenders in 2 nights.
So here's something. Here's a question based on the whole where we're saying New Japan is the eyes of the future. Let's take away David Finlay. Let's take away the names that we know. Who was an underrated star? I know you mentioned the guy from the Bullet Club not too long ago, Nick, but from each
Ryan McCufflin, I think he's really good. Ryan McCufflin, I really like. Ren Narita, who's also Bullet Club, I think he's fantastic. Yeah, and Bone Soldier. Those are the 3 who I would say stand out to me.
Okay, so very Bullet Club, from what I'm understanding.
Yeah,
which isn't a bad thing.
Jeff Cobb, like he's a name that again has been on US TV before, but like with Will stepping away, he very much could blow, innit? Be like that guy. There's long-term people that's been there, Tai Chi. Yeah, think of some other names. Yeah, Bushi. Yeah, like there's many names that can be elevated to the top of the card at any time in New Japan, and New Japan are very good at it because, like I said, there's people who wouldn't have watched Wrestle Kingdom for a couple of years, and they would have seen Evil and Sonada as a tag team. Yeah, and Leonardo de Japan. I butchered the name.
Ingobernables.
Yes, Ingo, but whatever you said. But like, they would have seen those guys as a tag team, and then come back now, and both of them have been world champions, and like both of them have beaten Okada as well. Yeah, so the growth when they want someone to grow, and like they want someone to get on, they do it so well in New Japan. I suppose what might help is that they don't have weekly TV, so it's easier to build these guys. But hey, I just look forward to the future. I look forward to people like Hikuleo being like elevated. Yeah,
right.
I love what they're doing with David Finlay and the all new Bullet Club, and like even they had their little internal faction war as well. So anything can happen.
It's very cool.
Kent is doing the business there as well, man.
Good to hear that. I'm happy to hear that. Okay. And when is this next paper? This Saturday.
This Saturday.
So guys, this is the thing. Like, obviously the Royal Rumble is the Royal Rumble, so that's what all eyes are on. But for the early part of January, it's very much a New Japan product. So if you are a wrestling fan who's not
sorry to cut you off, AJ. You know what else is this Saturday, right?
Hit me.
Little thing called
TNA. Oh gosh, yes, we had this discussion, didn't we? We had this discussion. Oh dear, Scott, forgive me. Oh great, Scott, forgive me. Yes, the return of those 3 famous letters, TNA. TNA, of course. Look out for a show. Look out for a show just before the release of it, where we're going to just talk our excitement and the buzz.
I do
The buzz.
encourage people to like go and watch last week's TNA as well, because again, that was all you need to know about TNA. That was like a masterclass in some of the best moments in that company's history. Yeah. So you might have seen Impact, but you haven't seen TNA, or you might have seen TNA and didn't see Impact. Yeah. I would say both problems are solved by getting TNA Plus, because Dam's gonna have it all in there and the new stuff. So
and understand no lies were told. So yeah, guys, you may think that there's only wrestling at the end of the month. No. WrestleKingdom kicks off your wrestling. TNA is back, baby. So mid January is going to be very exciting. You book some time off work.
Let's not even talk about February.
Listen, the MOW calendar is just ridiculous. It is just ridiculous. I don't even know how that makes sense right now. But yeah, there's more than one company. Like, we know that wrestling has more than one family. Wrestling has more than one company. Okay. And there's a lot to pay attention to. As I said, right now, this is very much pro New Japan, and I'm not going to disrespect them by doing anything else. But I can say there is a very, very interesting weekend of wrestling coming. Both companies are going to be delivering some great stuff. And the best bit is, because of the time difference, you can watch both. It's going to be interesting, but you should be able to watch both. But yeah, a couple of adrenaline shots. But I'm going to say,
depending on your marital status or relationship status, you should be able to watch both.
Yeah, exactly. But if you do have the time, it's there, and I guarantee you will see some of the best wrestling you have ever pictured from both companies. I've not even seen Kingdom or Dash, but I know what New Japan can deliver. As a man who said it before, and I'll say it again, I've watched the last 2 Impact pay-per-views. They have so ushered in the opening of the door for TNA to return. It's going to be some very, very,
really have.
Not
calling it now, new women's champion, Jordan Grace.
Yeah, not to mention keeping in New Japan, like they're going to have their multiverse again this year. So yeah, TNA this time for the first time taking on New Japan. So lots to look forward to.
All the excitement. Okay, guys, look, this video will become... Well, this video's out because you're watching it. But after that, do look out for the ministry to return one more time, because we will be celebrating 3 very special letters that are very near and dear to us. I will be wearing an Impact t-shirt for that episode. But yeah, probably... Wait, not the last time, because I haven't got a TNA one yet. But yeah, guys, thank you so much. As you hear on all YouTube channels, if you're just watching for the first time, do be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell your friends to tell your friends, because the ministry is here. So until the next time, I am the one AJ Anthony Jordan.
Double V, the voice for a verisimilitude. Me too, Nico Leroux.
Big Tone out the zone.